everybody. Welcome to HBCU Original, and this is the Spotlight Hour. Hey everybody, we want to introduce our actual host today, um, the one, the legend, J.L. Williams, the one and only, Money Mike, the Money Mike's podcast, and also we have a guest,
G
special guest.
Blizz,
We have a
G
special
Blizz,
guest.
G Blizz.
G Blizz, a special guest, G Blizz. But first, we want to know if you guys want to support us. Here's a ad.
Donate to the HBCU Original cause. Help out our broadcast to continue to get out quality info to the viewers.
So, everybody that's tuning in today, our topic today is on finance. Me and J.L. Williams, we were having a conversation, and we're talking about students in finance, and we had some different questions we wanted to bring to the forefront. Should you invest your money into a house or your future, or should you invest in college? That was one of the the questions, and we'll start off and everybody just chime in. But how's everybody doing today?
Good, man.
Pretty good. I wanted to speak on that real quick. I kind of felt like when I initially heard the question, I thought that when I had a chance to think about it, I think the college degree might be more of a value versus a house. Even though a house does appreciate in value, if you don't have enough education, or if you don't have some education, even with a high school diploma, it's difficult to qualify financially for a house unless you're in some type of profession that allows you to do so.
So, there's a lot of students. I know me and John, we were talking about who are on the edge of really going to college, and is it a great investment? In today's climate, there's a lot of students with degrees who are not working, and they're coming back home to situations where it's not the best, housing and things of that nature. So, that's a good thing. Should they invest that money and time, energy into, a house, or should they invest it into education where, sometimes they're coming back to nothing, John,
Yeah. You know what? I think it really depends on the kind of education that you're looking to get. Education can be traditional in nature, as going to college, or education can be investing in a skill set that makes you money, so you can live the kind of lifestyle that you want. And then we're looking at now, young kids who are manipulating this whole AI phenomenon, and they are becoming extremely wealthy, to the point where they're hiring their parents and their friends and all that kind of stuff, and they're training other young people to do the very same thing because they've taken money to invest in their skills, in that education, not the kind of education that traditionally somebody tells you to go major in this or major in that. That may not give you or yield you a certain income. And as you get more proficient at anything, I don't care what it is, you become better, and you become better, and you gain a mastery over a specific skill set that can yield you money. When you develop these kinds of skill sets that these kids are doing now, they stay with you. You can always make money. You got kids now. There's a company out there now, and she's actually a teacher, and her whole philosophy is, I teach kids 2 hours a day the requirements that they need to graduate to get to the next level. The rest of my time, I'm spending time teaching them skill sets. They have a course on Airbnb. They have young kids now that actually own Airbnbs, and they're making money being a broker to be able to, sell, however, whatever they do with the whole Airbnb. They have a whole course on AI, learning how to do this. They have courses um, on trading and all these kind of things. So there's a lot of things that you can focus your talents in that will yield you income that you will always be able to survive.
You
You'll
know what?
always be able to make money. So it
That's
just, for
interesting,
me,
man.
it depends on where your value set is.
Mm.
And for me, I don't think it should. I think it should. The focus should be on, what is it? What skill can I develop right now
Mm.
that I could always lean on and make money. I could always go get a house, because you got now people are doing Airbnbs. They're not even buying homes like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? If they're buying, they're investing where they actually invest in properties that other people are paying for, because they're living in the thing that they have uh, invested in. So
Mm.
it just depends. It just depends. It's just, that's my
Hey,
take
Money
on it.
Mike. Hey, Money Mike. Is it because these colleges are making trillions of dollars, not billions, collectively trillions of dollars. Is that wealth transferring over to the students? Are they coming out of school better or worse? And in some
That's
cases,
a great question.
are they coming out of school better or worse?
Question, man. The thing is, the number one thing is, it just comes down to what do you want to do in life and
Right.
what's your aspirations. Obviously, you know, I mean, as African Americans, we go to school to get a job.
Okay. Okay.
So you have to cut through the chase a little bit.
Mm.
That's why we're so big on education, is to get a
Okay.
job. Okay. Now, here's the only challenge with that. When society changes and you got AI, okay, there ain't gonna be that many jobs.
Whoa.
Okay, so you got the college students, who understand that they're paying their tuition, they're getting loans. Hopefully the loans will be forgiven, but there's no guarantee that you will have a job. And
Yeah.
I think that's where the rubber gonna meet the road, because you got all this education.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got AI. It's like, well, we don't need you guys for education. It's already doing it. So now, how do you transition your life, a young student, which they're doing it, is they're trying to make their money online. And let's face it, if you look at the culture of the African American community all the way back to working on the railroad, okay, and digging trench and ditches, right? So we went through that phase. First phase, slavery. Come out of that, we get jobs trenching. Next thing you know, we move into where we can help with the war, World War II. Okay, so we got jobs there. And then next thing you were able to do, you got to the 60s and they call us the baby boomers, right before 64, 65, the baby boomers. I mean, it was all about you go to education, get your education, get your education. Okay, now you got somebody's got to look these students in the eye and say, well, there ain't no guarantee you're gonna get a job just because you got an education. Because there's
Yeah.
millions of people out there
Yeah.
with degrees can't get
Yeah.
jobs, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the trade-off. And when does that stop being the answer for HBCU African American students? When does education stop being the answer and start being the truth?
Mhm.
That that's
Well,
that's what you got to find out, because we don't.
Money Mike, it sounds like you might be asking the HBCUs to tell the truth in terms of education. But I think education offers anybody who seeks to take advantage of the opportunity. I think it offers these students who graduate. I think it offers them a lot of soft skills um, in terms of overall development, and then being able to go out and apply some of those skills so that they can, you know, I guess you could say survive or even thrive in the world, period.
Yeah, I don't like that, man. So the survival thing, and that's the annoying part, Mike. And, we come out of school
That's
for
crazy.
survival for survival, while Caucasians come out of school what to look for. I mean, to they're coming in. They want to be established. You know what I'm saying? So we got a different mindset when we graduate, man. It's almost
So
like
the question here's the
uh,
question that has to be posed to a student, and in this sense of one question we don't ever ask, and a lot of parents don't even ask their kids this.
mm,
Um, what do you want to be? It starts at home. What do you think you want to be? What do you want to do with your life?
mm,
We don't, and we have to be great investigators. We have to investigate our children's strengths, the gifts that God has given them. We have to be able to look at these things and be able to point our children in those directions that their strengths say that they will be able to have the most success in these particular areas. So we
mm,
got to be able to identify, and we got going. We got to be able to identify and be able to. Then once they are identified, we got to be able to point them in the direction that helps to strengthen those skill sets. The two most important days in any man or woman's life is the day they were born and
mm.
the reason they found out why.
Woo, man.
Those are the two most important dates in any man or woman's life. I don't care what college. I don't care. It don't matter. If you can't answer those questions, if you can't say why did I show up?
Mm,
Why am I here? Why am I here? If you can't answer those questions, then whatever you go to school for, you're going to school based on what somebody else told you
yeah,
you should be doing. So somebody
yeah,
told you to go. Somebody told you to go to college. So
mm,
they told you to go to college because your uncle went to college, your grandma went to college, all these people in your family went to college. So you just following suit. So you're going to college. Sometimes these kids don't even know what they're going to college for, and
yeah.
so they go get a major. They come out, and that's not something that they really want to do. I can't tell you how many conversations I had around that. Well, why did you go to school? Well, my mom or my aunt told me. Somebody told me that I was supposed to go to school to get this. So they went to school, went and got the degree, and now they're still back to square one.
They're
The
square
two
one.
dates, they're the two dates. The
They're
day
two days.
I was born and the
Right.
reason I find out why. Well,
Wow.
we have to find out why. And when we find out the why, right, then we on the runway. We can get on the runway to purpose and begin to take flight if we investigate the why. But
Mm,
we gloss over the why because somebody told you. We gloss over the why because somebody told you to go to college and to go get your degree,
that's
and that once you did that, you were going to be successful.
that's interesting. That's so interesting, John. And that's why I said many African Americans are going to school with that thought.
Yeah,
Now, I like to say you need to kind of watch the forecast and see what's going to happen 5 years or 10 years in front of you. You have to see like the AI thing that was coming. It didn't just start overnight.
no,
And the problem that we don't read or we don't read history, we don't study, we don't know what's coming. We just wait for it to come. You
mm-hmm.
should know what's coming before it gets there, and then you're preparing for it little by little by little. So it does not hit you all at the same time. Like this AI thing didn't just start. It
No,
started years ago. It
no,
started years ago.
years ago.
And like Gil was saying, soft skills. What are you doing, and to benefit in the time you're living in? There's so many free courses, Microsoft Office, Excel. These are basic courses that you should know. And if you don't even know those basic courses, like you're going to be lost, man. We're talking about simple courses like Microsoft, Excel, basic
PowerPoint.
Adobe, PowerPoint. I mean, these are basic, and
Fundamental.
and a lot of our African American students, they're lacking these skills. And I'm talking about coming from college, man, who are
Mm-hmm.
graduating college and don't even have those basic necessities. I know people right now. I'm like, You don't know. You didn't know Excel. You don't know Microsoft. You got a degree. Are you serious? It's crazy.
The foundation was not put in place correctly. We didn't assess the gifts and talents in the areas that our kids exhibit the most, so we can point them in that direction. What we did was somebody told us to send them to go to college. We just followed suit of what my aunt did and my uncle. We did all that, and they went and got the degree, and then they came out, and then now they have a job at Wawa, and they work in day at Wawa, they at Costco's. Let me tell you something. I was there today. I'm telling you, I was there today, and I saw all of them that we talking about working them jobs. Wow. Because and then man, to add insult to injury, right? They just continue to operate in this because nobody is telling them. Wow. Nobody's telling them. So if nobody is going to be a disruptor of your life and say, hold up, you're going in the wrong direction. These are some things that we need to revisit. We got to look at these things differently so that we can change them effectively. Because if we don't, you running on a crash course. It's not going. Let me tell you something. I do Lyft and Uber and all that, right? Picked up this young boy, been no more than 15. Picked him up from the train station. He was just coming from Philadelphia. I was taking him to the bank. What is that bank? I can't even remember the name of the bank. Well, it may come to me. But I took him to the bank, and I asked him. I said, I'm wondering why is he going to the bank? And him and I having a conversation. And I said, well, what do you, I'm asking what he's doing. He said, well, we're learning how to operate these bots for JP Morgan. That's what it was. But we're learning how to operate these bots. I said, how old are you, man? He said, man, I'm ready to turn 16. I said, are you serious? I said, I know he was a young boy. I said, well, what are you doing at JP Morgan? He said, Coach Williams, this is what we do now. See, this is what we do now. They're training us to learn these bots we're training us to do coding, and then they're training us for security purposes for the bots and learn. So they learn how the algorithms and all. He was talking to me all this kind of stuff like this, and I'm like, and I said, well, do you work? He said, no, we have a few hours of school, but the rest of the time we're operating in the thing that we're here for. And then he said, look up there on the catwalk. Those are all my students. When I looked up on the catwalk, y'all, there a whole bunch of him was walking across the catwalk to class.
Wow.
I said, are you serious? I said, now they playing the whole. And I said, do you get paid for this? And I said, do you get paid for this? He said, absolutely. He said, they take care of our rent or more. JP Morgan takes care of everything. My mom and them, they handle the money. But I just come here and do this. I said, does your mom work? No, she doesn't have to anymore. It's a game out here being played, and everybody ain't invited to the game.
Yeah.
Because some people don't even know the game is being played.
Yeah.
And it's a big game that's being played, but we here we still in bedrock. We still back here, in the Stone Age. We still up here, filling out applications to go work at Wendy's and all. We still back here. Our kids are so far behind. I can't even tell y'all how far behind they are. And if somebody don't pull them up and pull them to the side and tell them the truth, then we're going to have another generation of kids. I'm talking about lost. They can't read. Watch this. And I heard Dr. Omar Johnson say this the other day. We got kids that can't read, but they playing AAU basketball. Your son is up there dunking and doing all that. But if you sat down with him, he couldn't even read the newspaper. He couldn't even read the news report, but he got a 42-inch vertical leap. But he can't even read.
So our priorities are backwards, and I piggyback off of what Gil said earlier about the soft skills, and also it's important to have these particular skills. Like you said, reading, writing, arithmetic, math, things that might help you in the future. Like you said, our kids are lacking, man. A lot of our students are lacking. And a lot of our students, like you said, who are not even interested, don't even realize what's happening to them. You know. Um,
Hey
Mhm.
Vince, we talked about this the other day with the guy, the baseball player. What was his name?
oh,
I
brother
can't.
Eli, brother
Yeah, brother
Eli, yeah,
Eli. We talked about this. We got kids that the only thing they're focused on is playing basketball,
that's dangerous, man.
and that's it's such a dangerous game that
Dangerous.
you're lured into this. Like, come on, you
Another
have
thing,
other
well,
skill sets that you have yet to discover, but you have
Afford it.
limited yourself to doing
Afford
this.
it, John. John, they can't afford it. They
you said
can't
they can't
afford
afford
it.
it. Okay,
They
Mike.
can't afford it. They can't afford it, guys. Here's the deal. All right. That was a great interview you guys did with the baseball coach. Here's the deal. You want to play baseball, man? You got to start in the fifth grade. You got to go out and get training. That costs money. Yeah, that costs money. These kids are going to camps. It costs money. Now, here's the deal with African Americans. We play football and basketball because it's free. It's free, guys. You got to look at that. All you need is a ball and a court
Mm,
that's already provided. You play football,
right.
all you need is a field. But when you get into playing soccer and you want to get into tennis and golf and all that, that costs money.
You're
It,
right.
it,
You're
it
right because
costs a
they
lot of
you
money
you're
to
But
right. You're
train.
right, Mike.
Yeah,
but Money Mike,
does.
Money Mike, all that stuff costs now. Even basketball.
We
Mm,
know
My
that.
son played. Yeah, my son played AAU basketball. It was sort of expensive.
Money. I
Now,
mean,
when I was coming up and playing basketball,
It was
we didn't
free.
really have to. We didn't have to pay that much. We did. I don't even think we had to pay for our jerseys.
Mm-mm. We didn't. I know. I didn't.
is that transferring over to the college level? So we got, one of the questions that we started with, is it worth the while of going to college, or is it more, like you said, beneficial to invest in yourself?
do the math. See, I was a business student, so you got to do the math for yourself. All right, and I was a
Mm,
business student, and I got to my junior year, senior year, and I said, okay, I got enough. You guys ain't teaching me no more than what I already know. Okay,
right.
so my thing was being an entrepreneur. So by the time I was 22, 23, 25, I'm already bought my third house.
Mhm.
I'm already opening up businesses
That's
because
right. That's right.
and it came out of the mentality then was Stephen Jobs and Bill Gates. See, they were at Stanford. They left. Okay,
Yes,
because
I
you got
did.
if you're not teaching anything when it comes to business. Now, in college, you got to ask yourself, what's the target? Okay, I go to college. How do I get a $250,000 a year job?
Yeah.
Ask yourself, how do I get a $250,000 a year job? Because if you add up, let's say you add it up, what we have done. Okay, you make 50, let's say 60, let's say 75,000 a year. That's a little above the medium. It's a little bit less in the South. But you add up, okay, 10 years, that's going to be 750,000. You go 20, that's going to be 1.5, and you go again, it's going to be 2.2. So if you can make your $2.2 million now in six
Mm,
months,
mm,
social media, then what the heck am I going to try to do all that 30 years of work?
right.
Okay,
Right. Right.
so and that's where the transformation has come in because you get a job, man, you get institutionalized, and the kids, the millennials now, they're not caring about no job. I'm be honest with you. They didn't
Yeah.
see mom and daddy laid off. They didn't see people go without. They didn't see
Sure.
people in the unemployment line. So they're smarter than we are. His young man's playing back. He's going to be smarter. He started out on the computer. He started out on the Xbox. They understand all these things of technology. And today, if you don't know technology, then you really ain't gonna have a job. I can tell you that. If you don't know technology, then you know what?
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
not gonna have a job. And here's the thing where you got a job. We have people going to social work, which is valuable. You have all these positions,
Right.
but they're cutting all these positions.
Mm,
Now you got a smaller applicant pool. It used to be, and some I'm sure they still have it, career day, right?
right.
So
Mhm.
when it came time for you to get a job, they come right on the campus and hire you on the spot, right? So I mean, those are things that you have to ask yourself, because you are right. Now, my educators, I agree with them. All my friends are in high positions, directors, running the CSU system, my best friends on the board of the foundation at Chico State. So they're all doing great, but education is more of a life experience than it is going to make you money. So if you want to have a balanced life, you want to learn about geology, you want to learn about accounting, you want to learn about your history. That's the general education, and then you go into your field. And then it doesn't really guarantee that what you went and got the degree for is going to be what kind of work you're going to do, because people switch fields all the time, right? Because
Mhm.
they can't get a field in their job. So you, this is dangerous no matter how you look at it,
Mhm.
because you have so many African Americans living below the poverty line.
Mm.
Just having trouble meeting basic needs. And what are basic needs? Your food, your PG&E, or whatever it is, SMUD, or whatever company, your water, your garbage, and just having enough food in the house. Okay. And they're both working and they're not making it. So it's a slippery slope, because you could tell somebody, go to school
Yeah.
4 years, go get your master's degree,
Right.
additional 2 years, and you will have what?
Right.
I can tell you that. You see what I'm saying? So that's the hard part, that education. And when you got athletes who are getting NILs, 1 million and 2 million, I tell you, man, get all the money you
You
can
can.
at
Yeah.
your peak earning potential,
Yes.
which means from 20 to 25, that's your golden time. Man, I'd skip everything else. If I'm
Yeah.
making money
Right.
right now, okay, and somebody says go to college, man, I'm gonna keep making this money. Okay, get that built up and then revisit college later.
Right. Right.
That's the new way for the millennials. They're not,
Yeah.
because they work a couple of days, quit the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't need this job, and they're
Yeah.
gone. So that's the battle, folks, because nobody can
Yeah.
guarantee that you're
Nope.
gonna come out of that HBCU and be making $250,000 a year.
And
All
they're
right.
Okay,
like you said, they're creating mountains of debt, man.
Mm.
Some of these kids are coming home in debt,
debt, man, a lot
and
of
then
debt.
and then like you said, John, earlier, working at con schools, and here they are, got $80,000 worth of debt, student
Well,
loans,
let
all
me
that
say this.
stuff.
I want to give a shout out to DSU, Dr. Tony Allen, and what they've been able to do, because they have freshmen are able to come in there and to go to school for free, providing that they have at least a 2.7 GPA. They can go to school for 4 years
Mm.
for free
Woo.
right
Man,
now, right now, right now.
so if
So
you're
I'm
listening
saying,
in,
so
listening
so
in,
so I'm my that hey my daughter had a scholarship, and she also could benefit from that, but she's a brain. She had an academic scholarship, so she was able to do that, and she benefited, I believe, from some of that as well. But those are the advantages that come, uh, you know, depending on the institution that you go to that have those things available. Um, but I want to pull back on something that Mike was talking about, and as far as dealing with the education, the thing that have been put in the equation of all of this, and it seems fundamental, but it's not. It's major, because I see it every day. These cell phones are major distractions to these
mhm.
children. These children can't seem to move without them. Um, I went through at least 3 to 4 kids this year in my summer camps, because they just can't seem to operate without them. They have to be, I'm paying you, and I'm paying money that just like Chick-fil-A. I'm giving you 17.50. All you doing is working with the kids. But I need you to be engaged with the children that are here. I can't have you on your phone and you trying to do this, that. I said, no, that's that. But see, these kind of things, and particularly our kids. See, I ain't dealing with them. I love everybody, but our kids have to really, we've really got to discipline ourselves. We really do, because they are so undisciplined. and then working in the school system, and then having my own business, working with families and kids and all that. It is a major, major, major challenge
Yeah.
to us, and it's keeping our kids like not taking advantage of opportunities, because you're allowing yourself to be distracted by this phone. And
Yeah.
we
The
got to
tech,
stop this.
tech,
I mean,
yeah.
it's crazy.
Technology can be both good and bad. Unfortunately, for this generation, it's a lot more bad than good, um, because socially they are distant. There's no sense of reality. I think with these kids growing up with the Instagram, TikTok, all these different things, all these different platforms, they're living their life through social media. It doesn't relate to real life at sometimes. And then also, Mike, they can make money as well with the same creations, but does it create a false sense of a person? Does it create a loss of social and moral? They are morally defunct. I mean, they say what they want to say. They're disrespectful to the parents or whoever is raising them. They're disrespectful to their peers. They're fighting online. Then they're going to kill, as a quote unquote ops or whatever you want to call it. There's all types of distractions with the social with the social media, and then also it creates a false reality. Like, you got some people online who are lying to a lot of these young people. They're millionaires. They're this or that. When they're renting these places, they're not really. They don't really own these cars, and so a lot of people get sucked up. What do you think about that?
No, I think there's no guidance. I think there's no guidance that, and let me break that down for you, right? Because my daughter Crystal Walker goes to Shaw U. She plays softball, right? So we go to Shaw U. We coming from California. We going to the HBCU. Okay, so before I leave my center off, I said, hey, we going down there to do some business, okay? Because I got to guide you. She's like, Dad, okay, what are we studying? I'm an exercise science major. What do you want to be? I want to be a trainer. Okay, well, that's great, but what is that going to do for you? Okay, for all the time you put into softball, you got to think about being a coach. Okay, because the coaches make the money, the trainers don't make the money, right? So we are guiding this entire process to say, we're going to take you where you got your A degree. You're going to go to HBCU. You're going to graduate, potentially also graduate with a double major. And then when that career is over, we were lined up to be the assistant coach at Shaw University. Okay, so all of this is structured and guided
It's
through.
strategic.
Okay, right, it's strategic. So if you don't get that young African American female or male and start guiding them into their career and assigning them a mentor, because you have all the HBCU graduates. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just coming in. This is just me being dad. But for those who don't have dads, first thing they should have, the HBCU alumni should take on the mentorship. Okay, that should be number one. I don't care if you go to Shaw, you go to Howard, you go to Delaware State. Somebody that graduated from that university should be assigned as a mentor, and this is how you got to get it done, because you can't go in there just blind and
Nope.
just get the degree and then now what? So you
Right.
should be guided, like John said. JP Morgan, he's 16. So, and let's face it, corporate America is stealing college students. Okay, they're
All day.
stealing the college students because they're saying, hey man, don't skip that, come here, go to school
Come
here
on.
at Google.
That's
Okay,
right.
when
That's
you're
right.
at Google, we're gonna pay you and educate you.
Mm.
Okay, and then when you get done with the class, we're gonna promote you into a job making over $100,000 a year. Okay, and that's the different realm that we're dealing in, is that corporate America say we'll train all our own employees
Come
and
on.
we'll get you a degree in what we do, right?
Come
But
on.
it's a little different when you're coming out of that college and you got that same young man John's talking about. He's been working on JP since 16.
That's
So
a
by
good thing.
22, he at 22 and you just graduating at 22, he is miles ahead of you.
Come on. He's
He's gone, man. He's a hot property. He's getting offers 250, 300, $400,000 a year for a job because he got in it early. Okay,
right.
so that's kind
And
of
somebody
where it is.
in his life, Mike, made learning look sexy.
Yeah.
Made learning and going to different levels of intellectual prowess sexy. That
It's the only way.
you listen, if you learn this, you can have all that. Somebody drilled that in that child's head in some way, right? So our kids, like working with different kids, like I do. Most of our kids are just scrolling, just looking at something that catches their attention, and they looking at violence. They looking
Yeah.
at they're looking at porn. They're looking at basketball, or looking at all that. They're not looking at how I can, this idea of how I can do this, or they're not looking at a class and how I can become an AI prompter. And AI prompters make anywhere between 120 and $250,000. If I learn how to become a good AI prompter, if I can tell Chat GTP what to do the right way, it can give me back something that I can sell to that to someone that is looking for this program. I can
That's right.
become that person. They're not looking at that. They're looking at the Pornhub. They watching all kind of stuff that's getting their attention on different things. So by the time they come home from school, they bombarded with all these thoughts that's now going through their mind because of all the nastiness and all the ridiculous stuff that they just looked at. They getting that, all that's in their mind.
That's why I said they're it's terrible, man. They don't have any and that's what the part of the social skills I was talking about, like they're not being raised properly, like you said, Mike, and they're raising themselves online, man. They're getting all the information online. They're getting all these lies online fed to them, and they're not using the internet for purposes that may make them money, like you said, the right way. So
And so they need guidance.
absolutely.
And these is conversations.
And guess what?
And conversations like this is where, Vince, we need to bring on some of these teachers, these professors. We need to bring on and parents. We need to bring out the parents and like, yo, what are we gonna do? And really having a come to Jesus moment about your child and what they're doing, looking at the real deal. If he keeps doing this, where you think he's gonna wind up at?
Yeah, their minds are so already tapped out.
Yeah.
Where do you think he's gonna wind up at? There's only a few places that he's gonna wind up at, particularly if he can't read on a fourth grade level. He can't even read. He can't read.
You can get a free ride there. You can get a free ride.
Come on.
Give you a free ride.
Yeah.
Any state prison in California, they got a lot. Hey, listen, if you don't pay attention, if you don't follow what you're supposed to do, if you don't read and write, they got a lot of great universities in California.
They got lifetime scholarships.
Florida, Texas, all over
scholarships. Yeah.
Now, we advise you not to.
Right.
And they giving them away like candy.
Oh, for sure.
Here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing, guys. I always, and with me, you guys already know I do the numbers, man. I always do the numbers.
Come on, talk about the numbers, Mike. I like the way you run them numbers.
And when you get to the numbers, man, it gets amazing, right? Because, as African Americans in a culture and a family, an HBCU family, you have to look at it, right? Let's take $20 an hour. I did this with my son, right? We're gonna take $20 an hour. Son, here's the deal. African Americans, we can never stick it out and be together. But the Hispanic, man, they'll kill it. They'll have 25 in the house. Filipino, they'll kill it. Whatever culture, Chinese, they'll all sleep in the restaurant and wake up tomorrow, serve you the food. They never leave. But when it comes to African Americans, if you run the numbers, $20 an hour, a family of 10, just $20 an hour. Okay. And I said, okay, son, well, how much is that after an 8-hour day? That's $1,600, right?
Okay.
And okay. That for 30 days. How much is that, son? He said, well, Dad, that's $48,000. Okay. A month, right? So I said, okay, what African American family in America with 10 people can't live off of $48,000 a month?
Wow.
But the way we do it, because it's all about me. You see this product I got I'm wearing, you see this, you know, Louis Vuitton. You see how I'm rolling. You see this nice ride I'm rolling
Right.
around. You see these rims. You understand what I'm saying? So that we all out there as individuals
Ah,
trying to be impressive
right.
instead of just saying, hey, you know what? We got a family of 10, everybody, let's come together. We're going to go ahead and make this money. We'll make this $48,000 a month. We're going to buy a house. Heck, by the time we get done, we can buy two because we're going to buy the one next to us and the one on the other side. So now we got
Right.
three houses, right?
Right.
That's
You
right.
see what I'm saying? But this is all
Exactly.
off of $20 an hour. Okay, so you have to understand it's not about what we do as African Americans, it's about us coming together. And we've always had the house and the field. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's always been the house and the field. Like you feel you better than me, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, and we fight amongst each other. We
Yep.
fight. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Instead of saying, "Hey, look, as a family, we're gonna pull all 10 of us together. We're gonna use all these resources like the black family used to do with farmers and
Right.
sharecropping and all that. We're gonna do all our food and we're gonna buy it all together. And whoever needs a car, no problem. We make $48,000 a month. I think we can afford a
Yeah.
three,
We
four
can
hundred
afford. I
dollar
think we can
payment.
afford a car.
In fact, we
Yeah.
just gonna pay it off collectively so we can have that paid off and the next person comes next. Because when it comes to the numbers,
Mm.
simple. But we shooting for the moon and we want to get $300,000 job,
Mm.
$100,000 job. We're gonna go move on our own. We're gonna go pay $2,500 a month rent. We're gonna buy a car, pay 500. We're gonna get the insurance, pay 200, and we're gonna
Yep.
put gas. I mean, you gotta look at this stuff, man, because when you
Yeah.
really
Right.
just say, I think the numbers it gets lost because when you don't have kingdom principles, okay,
Come on.
and you know you have to tithe to protect your wealth, okay, and that's my biggest thing now to increase past the 10%, keep going, because here's the thing that happens: it puts you under submission that this money is not mine,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this money belongs to God. Now he's utilizing me as a steward
Come
with
on.
the money,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
but it's not for me to make myself and glorify myself. Every time you give away money, I'm just like, praise God. Like me and Vince said, hey, we got Sahara going over there, HBCU All Stars. No problem, Coach Coop. Let's send $100, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
you get everybody doing sending $100, then all of a sudden you're uplifting. But the individuality of African Americans is our deathbed. It's killing us because we're
Mm-hmm.
all going out in society trying to stake a claim individually.
Yep.
Okay, you may get one or two through the cracks. They don't allow two or three of us African American to be working in corporate America. We can huddle up,
Nope.
have coffee, have all those conversations, right? That's too many of y'all. We can do one. We
Yeah.
may do two, but y'all gonna work on separate floors now. We ain't gonna put
Yeah.
y'all where you can talk, right?
Exactly.
It's the family, man. Just you don't
Yeah.
need much to be a family. You can go down to $20 an hour. Okay. But if everybody has to work
Mm-hmm.
and everybody knows we call them family folks, you know, black folks in our family that don't work. For whatever reason, ain't nothing wrong with them. They got two eyes, two ears, two arms, two legs, but they don't work. They rather
Yeah.
just come over and say, let's go see my cousin John,
You
man.
know
I'll
what
see
it
what we
Yeah.
can
is.
do.
They don't
Let me
get
go
Yeah.
see
it.
what he doing.
Let's see
Cousin
what we
John is
doing, man.
Cousin John working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really it, fellas. It's interesting when you look at the numbers because I think we're shooting too high.
Yeah.
We're not all gonna get to $100,000 a year,
Yeah.
okay? And we over there making $1 million. We're gonna be at the smaller number. But you know what? Old grandmother, boy, she didn't have much, but she
Mm.
knew how to save that money and keep it tight, right?
Come on.
And when you needed something, she had a little something,
She had
right?
a little something for you.
She had a little something for you, right? So you could depend on that. But now, man, it's wild, wild west out there.
Yeah, you right.
And
You know what, Mike? You are when you are so right. And I wanted to share this real quick, Vince. You know, doing Lyft and Uber have been like really a blessing for me in the sense of it's given me a lot of exposure to different people's lives and how they live their life because I'm in there when they come in there with me, it's an audience. I got an audience of one. And so we're able to conversate. And when I pick a lot of these foreigners up and I'm taking them to they're working at Amazon And I drop about there's one stop that I make often, particularly if I'm doing at this certain time. There's about 4 of them that get in the car with me, and I take them right to Amazon. And I often have conversation around. I said, man, how do y'all do it? Like coming together like that. But it was something that's been woven into their culture. It's just part of the oneness of love and heart and soul that they have for their brother and their sister. And they're serving the bigger vision. It's not about me, it's about we. And that's how they live their life, financially, spiritually, and otherwise. And so when they when they come home, they are glad to get that check and bring it together. They can't, these people, I'm telling you, Money Mike, you hit it on the money, man. Listen, these people love to come home with that check and they give it to the wives.
Yep.
And the wives are managing the finances. And the guys are just focused on what's the next opportunity. Am I going to paint this man's house down the street? Am I going to cut some grass? Am I going what? I'm working at Amazon, but there's so much more that I could be doing. And that's how they think. And so we have to adopt an immigrant mentality. And if we can adopt a mentality like that, guess what? We can get the victory and be successful, but we got to do what our coaches told us to do years ago. It says teamwork makes the dream work.
Sure.
That's right.
Teamwork makes the dream work. And if we don't adopt that philosophy, then Mike and Vince, we gonna always be going up the rough side of the mountain.
For those students who listen, going into school, and I think Mike touched on this earlier. You got to have a plan.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Will your job be available when you graduate? You have to, you have to study what's in front of you right now before you even enter school, and say, listen, down the line, this job may not be, or this job will be available, or like you Mike said, AI is coming up. How can we, tap into that or something? They got to have, in this time and age, like you said, these jobs are not available. And I think what is it now? Only about 30% of all college graduates have a job. Is that true? Close to it. Actually go into the workforce.
Deal, man.
It's very small.
Here's the deal that people got to really recognize, right? Okay, because African Americans, we're great at sports. Okay, for the life of me, sports, anybody that's played sports, I recommend they go in the sports business. Okay, because the sports is almost $1 trillion industry, right?
Yes, it is.
And you have to understand how sports works, right? Because every professional sports team is going to have public relations. They're going to have they're going to have entertainment. They're going to have restaurants. So if you're being a part of that business, okay, and you're negotiating or selling some product or extension of a license fee or anything like that, then you're going to have an opportunity to make a lot of money because they're making billions of dollars in the sports business. Okay, I don't care if you do broadcasting. Because it's hard for me to understand why would an African American student from the 5th grade all the way through college and then go get a regular job. I can't understand that. When you got the sports industry, you can start out in season ticket sales, you can start out in ushering, and you can work your way through because there's billions of dollars in the sports business. The NBA, they're making billions. The NFL's making billions. They got a lot of employees, okay? But you never hear us really sending him to there and saying, go work for the Baltimore Ravens, go work for the Philadelphia Eagles, because in our mind, we think that's too far of a reach. We can't do it, but that's not true. Okay, you can get a job there, okay, believe it or not, and you can start working from that organization and work your way up, okay, because sports, billions of dollars, whether it's merchandise, okay, it's billions of dollars their people are making, and whether it's tickets, I used to have first class tickets, and I'll tell you the story of first class tickets. I mean, that was the easiest money I ever made. I said, hey, you know what? I got Michael Jordan coming in. You know, Michael Jordan's coming in to play the Kings.
It's an
You know,
easy thing.
it's easy. I get somebody on the horn. You know, the ticket's $110 face value. I said, I got Jordan coming in. Okay, how many you need? Oh, you want floor? You want him down near the floor? No problem. Okay, I'll 900 a ticket. Okay, no problem. Here's my card number. $3,600 done. Okay, so I got to
Done.
go over there. I got to go find the guy 4 tickets, right? So I got to call all my friends in the business. Hey, I need 4 for the Bulls, right? So I'm at $3,600, but I bought the 4 tickets for 2,000, right? So guess what? That's how StubHub and all those guys make their money, right? So you
Mm.
go ahead. I made $1,600 on a phone call. Boom, package it up. UPS, come get a call tag, give it to them. They take it to the client, right? Or I get the guys Kansas City wants to fly in, and the Chiefs fans want to see the Raiders. Okay, so guess what? I'm standing there at the airport. You ever see the guy with the stand airport
Yeah.
saying Cowboys Raiders tickets? I'm here. That's my client coming in, right? So
Mhm.
it's money being made. You just
Mhm.
got to look at all the revenue structures and
Yeah.
streams of how you can make that
Mhm.
money. Because
Yeah.
man, I mean, there's so much, and it's billions. It's so much. Let's put it like this: African Americans can't afford a ticket to go see the game. Okay, let's just be honest. Okay, especially if you talk about NBA. I mean, you may get up in the rafters, but if you go courtside, man, you'll lay out $2,000, $3,000 for the ticket. Okay, and
Mm.
you see Shannon Sharp and those guys sitting down there in the Laker for it, they're paying $10,000.
Mm.
Okay, and so somebody's selling that ticket,
Yeah. No doubt.
and
Mm.
it doesn't matter who it is, but it's in the basketball business. For all the youth out there, the best magazine I ever think, or for you guys who haven't read it, go take a look at Sports Journal. Okay, Sports
Oh yeah,
Journal is
Sports
going to
Journal.
tell
Yeah.
you all the activities, every major league team, everybody who's been promoted from this position to this next position, and it gives you all the detail how they get those jobs. And they want to tell us about them because one, they really don't want us there, but
Nah.
to have us. Now, if we're in the vending or concessions, they'll take all African Americans they want to serve all the hot dogs. But man, we need to get from behind the booth and get into action and start making the money, because it's not illegal to buy shoes or go down to the state board. We call it state board of legalization for taxes here, to go down there and get your resale license and then go order you some pairs of Jordans and go ahead and resell them. I mean, there's nothing that's stopping you from starting your own business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and doing it. And so when you look at that, now just like Money Mike syndicated podcast, where YouTube's one platform, okay, but YouTube doesn't make a business. Okay, what makes a business is our other platform and how we build the store, and then we have all the jerseys and all the products we sell. Okay,
Mhm.
that's the business right there. The speaking engagements, that's the business, but not just posting the video. Yeah, they're gonna pay us. That's extra, but the real money is taking control. And I'll give you guys this. This is a brilliant idea, and I think of them every day. If you guys got the time, I said, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open up the sports marketing, Money Mike's podcast. Also, we got HBCU Original, so I'm including everybody here. And then you take that, and I go down and see all the local vendors have the merchandise shop. They're sitting in the retail trying to sell the product, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna interview them, and we'll do an interview with them fellas, and we're gonna go in there and hey, we're HBC. We want to make sure your business is really succeeding. So by the time they get to that, okay, how's it going? Well, it's slow. Okay, what kind of inventory you got? I want to move some of this for you, right? I'm gonna move it for them. They got this many jerseys. I post that up and I'll sell their stuff, right? So I eliminate the affiliate. The affiliate got eliminated just that quick. And what I mean by
Mm.
affiliate,
Oh.
instead of me going to ClickBank and all these other places, you come to me. I do the boots on the ground. I go find all the vendors that got all this equipment that's sitting on the shelves they want to move. I'll deal with you personally, and then we'll work out the shipping, right? You get a price. So I'm putting myself in the business.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I'm partnering up with people who have license agreements,
Yeah.
and I'm being a big benefit to them because I'm selling their product that they don't
Mhm.
have sell because they don't have the retail foot traffic, right? So all these companies, when you look at it, Americans need to really check up, right? Do a little checkup and say, what are we going to do? Because pretty soon we're not going to be making enough money to live, and that's going to get a little scary. So that's just
Mhm.
my thought, John. Yeah, we lost Vince. Take a little break, but
I don't know, but man, yeah, that's really great, and um and we need to really pull on a lot of your expertise. Mike, Mike, you got a lot of expertise, and we want to be able to bring that here also, the HBCU original, and learn how to do that. And so this is what we're saying is that the same thing that we're sort of talking about with what we need to provide for our children is the how-tos. How do I do that? Because a lot of times, like even when I'm in class and I'm teaching them some fundamental stuff around, just making great choices, all that, and then we may talk about business and all that kind of stuff. But I need to be able to put them in a process that can help them get ready for the world that they're about to face. And I want to be able to put them in that process. So, because I got a lot of stuff, um, that helps them morally and with life skills and all that kind of stuff. But I want to be able to put them in a business framework that can really help them to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but also gaining skill sets along the way, skill sets that will last them a lifetime. I got, young guys out there this summer that was selling water, and I even was able to, buy water for them and like, yo, man, y'all keep doing that. Don't you worry, but I got this. I need to see you out here every day though. And I need to see you grind and doing it, developing your skill sets. I said, because that you may not know what you're doing, but you're developing skill sets every day that you out here doing this.
Exactly.
And I want to fuel and fan that flame as you continue to do that. And so that's what that felt like that was my obligation this summer, because I used to do that. Mostly every day I got off work, I was going to one of the locations I know they are, and I was dropping off water.
Hey, John, you want to tell the
HBCU originals, man? We could champion any product. Yeah.
Hey, look. Hey, Mike, John got a product that he was selling in college.
Yeah, what did you say?
I said John had a product he was selling it. Hey, look, we all had. Hey, Mike, we all got hidden talent. We all had hidden.
Tell money like that.
We all got hidden talent.
I couldn't hear what he said.
I said, Mike. I said, John had a product.
Hold on. You're gonna have to repeat that.
I said he had a product. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on? I said, Mike, where's it? You lost him.
Oh, don't lose him now. Don't lose him.
Hold on a second.
Bring Mike back.
Yeah. I said, John got a product you can sell in college all day. To make you rich, boy. Nah, I used to sell, I did graphics, man. And but I was always, even on the campus, man, I always thought of ways to make money. So flyers, did all the party flyers, did all the graphics for the school. I was doing graphics locally for people, clothing lines. So I got money in my pocket.
Yeah.
And so I said, if I'm going to school, I was smart. I said, utilize the campus for, what I'm doing. So I was already into the media. So that was just like my practice field. What I mean? So I'm making a flyer every week. I was making like $300-400 a month. Just right on the campus.
Money coming in, right? Money.
So
yeah.
And then I got smart because I was in the DC area. So with DC, I'm doing the club flyers, Baltimore flyers, Hammer Jacks, and all these different clubs. And shoot, I mean, I was eating. So Mike, you gotta use your talent, but see, everybody couldn't fall back on that either as well. So I did include like some people to say, listen, go with me, man. We put these flyers out, we'll do some sales. And then one of my buddies, he was into t-shirt stuff like that. So we got on that, man. We started selling these little t-shirts for like $7-8 a piece. And back in that time, we can get t-shirts for $1, $2. So you're talking about the 90s, man. So we was killing them. But Mike, more importantly, before you dropped off, I said, John, man, he had a talent, man. He made him a lot of money on campus. Hey, John, go ahead and tell people about your
Hey, Mike, listen.
I've been killing. John's still killing it, man. John's killing it,
man. Hey. I was an athlete, but you know what, man? And me and my buddies, the whole basketball team, we were real cool. We was close, right? And we just like, man, we got to find a way to eat on the yard. We be hungry. That calf seemed like it closed too soon.
Yeah, hey, dude.
And so I, I, hey, let me just, I started stripping, man. I was,
Man, there you go, man. There you go.
I started stripping. As a matter of
Oh,
fact, I remember my
Hey,
first
man.
time I did it,
oh man.
and we had all these females actually come to our dorm, and we had a big dorm. One of the basketball players had the biggest. He had the corner dorm. It was the big one,
Oh,
and we threw a little party. We had the girls in there, and that was my first. That was my first
man.
one. And hey, we all ate pizza. We was full. We was all full. We was all full before we went to bed, and that's all that mattered because we was
Hey,
hungry.
No matter, huh?
hey,
You had what you need,
hey,
man.
We had what we
hey,
needed.
where
So
they, hey,
we know we
where
had to
that
get up
counter at,
about
man?
4 o'clock in the morning and get to running.
Hey, Mike, I want to see that counter, man. We gonna put that on sale on HBCU.
Yeah, we could put John up. You know, John. Well, for those of you who want to get into stripping, you got to just call John. He'll give you the blueprint. Yeah, yeah,
Oh God!
That was
Don't
one
get
of
that.
hey, that
Don't,
was one of hey, people don't know that Gil, you stripping college too, man. You
Nah,
know,
nah, nah, nah. Put that out there. I ain't never stripped nowhere.
man.
oh
Nah, man.
man! Don't
but
put.
now
Don't put.
when
Hey Vince!
people
Don't put this on. Don't.
oh that's his son. Hey, but Gil and Mike Gil is make we me and him we do graphics, so and Gil's
Mm,
a good friend of mine, for years, so and we make money like you said. He does education as well, but you can always fall back on graphics, video work and stuff like
About it,
that. And
Gil. Tell us about it, man. I need to know about what you do, Gil. Like, what do you do, man?
Uh, basically, specialize in business graphics. So, like, we specialize in business graphics. Anything that a business could use graphically to promote their business. Like letterhead, business card, logo design. We help them with the branding component. Like if you're trying to create and build your brand, we help with that aspect as well. So we do a lot of different things. Me, Vince. We have a couple of other partners. We have Doug and we have Hassan, and we all specialize in different aspects of graphics. But when all of these components come together, they help a business to to thrive out there in the marketplace in terms of marketing and advertising. So we do sign work, we do indoor signage, outdoor signage.
Mhm.
We do apparel products. Like any type of apparel product, like a T-shirt, a um a hooded T-shirt, hats, sweatshirts, jackets. Different things that companies use to promote their business that come in handy throughout the life of their business.
All
oh,
right,
that's
all
awesome.
right.
That's
So
great.
that's cool. Now, let's take it a step further. You got Vince, and you got myself, we got you. How do we integrate all this in the HBCU original so we can start selling this stuff? Because at the end of the day, when I hear all this, man, that people can do, man, we need to get some samples and Vince. We need to really just break down and market this, because here's the thing. When you have somebody that does that, and Vince, you do it, or John, you do it, you should be able to tell your story. Okay. We should be able to show some of your work. Okay. And then we can also put up, what the price points are, whatever it is, and we start selling. Because at the end of the day, this platform, I believe, and I know Money Mike's syndicated podcast is. I mean, that platform is a marketing platform, and it's all about business. It's all about getting the products and getting things sold. Okay, kind of like what John did with the T-shirt, because it doesn't matter. So it doesn't do us any good if we sit here and talk about what we do, because that's all great, but there's no money in what we do. It's the money is when we start introducing it to the public. Okay. And we start
Right.
getting clients and we sit down, we talk one on one about your business, what other business you work with, testimonies, things like that. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make revenue.
Mm-hmm.
We can
Mm-hmm.
sit here and talk in the corner and have a cup of coffee, but we're talking on the internet. So
Yeah.
I think I want to go to the next phase, because I know Vince has got the t-shirts. and we need to put the price points on the t-shirts. We need to tell them how much it's going to be with shipping so they can get their order today. But if we don't get on here and tell them about it, how are they going to know about it, right? Okay, we
Yeah.
don't get on and say what Gil you got going on, what you just did the other day for somebody. How they going to know about it? So we got to introduce and always be selling. Okay.
Right.
ABC.
All right.
Always be
ABC.
selling.
Always be closing. Right. ABC. And so because if we don't, then we're not showing them what we really can do. And Vince is real creative. Okay. And I know Gil's probably just as creative. But when you have that creativity, John, we got to dig it out of them.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we got to dig it out of them. I mean, we need a John Williams, t-shirt. We need a Money Mike t-shirt. We need an HBCU t-shirt. You know, I mean, we need all these things to start selling because if we don't start generating revenue, we can never be in business. Tax consultant told me, doesn't even matter if you're a nonprofit, you still have to make revenue. Okay. So when I hear these things and what people are doing, I like to have some of the product to sell. If you got finished work, I like to post it up, put the link up, and let's see if we can get it. Vince, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. I hear you. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I want to sell things. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So for those young students on campus, if you have like what we were talking about, Mike was talking about, Gil, JL, if you have some talents like this, you can put something together. That may make you some money as well. You don't want to leave college empty-handed. The goal is, I understand people, they go to college for certain things that they may want to do, but along your way, you can also develop, something that can help make you some money, business wise. Don't always go into looking to work for someone. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you're listening in, you're a student. Listen, use your talent, to make opportunity for yourself because it may not always be a job. You don't want to come out of college and just go back to a job like John was telling in the beginning, Costco's, and you spent 4 years, and then Mike said another 2 years, 6 years getting a master's degree, and you're working at Wendy's or a manager. You didn't have to go to school for that. So, you know, I just feel bad for a lot of students who waste thousands of dollars, man,
Mm-hmm.
and come home and they're even poorer than they went in.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah.
than they went in.
And Vince, a lot of them have the skill sets even to manage a company's social media platform because they own it themselves. They can manage. They can upload stuff. They know how to do all that because they doing it on theirs, but they
Well,
ain't making no money.
like Mike said, this is a while back. Opportunity though,
Mm-hmm.
when it's presented to you, we were in the right place, the right time to create a system, and sometimes that also works. But a lot of times, people are around people, that could create something like this, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't.
Well, you got to
Like
put your,
you said,
well,
they want
like
to put
Mike was saying,
the
Vince,
resources together.
you got to put your sign up. Nobody knows you in business if you don't put your sign up.
And not only
Sign
that,
up.
and not only that, you said it. You said it best. Put the resources together.
Yes, sir. Teamwork makes the
Because
dream work.
the hand is by itself. You put it together, now you get the
Platforms.
you
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
so
So we
But all
need.
the
So what
platforms
we
are worth,
so what
yeah, in
we'll
business.
so we'll have to Mike and Vince and
yo, but
we have to put a uh,
yeah, but we're not we'll something like that. We can discuss outside of the
that's what I said. That's what I was going to say.
but
We said, yeah, but it's cool. We'll
Yeah.
talk about
Well,
that another time.
no. The
But we
thing,
do
the
have
thing,
to.
the thing I'm trying to point at here, fellas, just so you understand, is we have to know what the person's doing in their business. We got to know what their targets are, right? You got to know what your target markets, target audience, and then you got to see if you can scale, right? Because no matter whatever business you're in, you're trying to scale up and make more money. I mean, that's the reason of doing it, right? You have slow time.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that we want to do, not talking so much about us, but anybody that comes on the show that represents a business, first thing we got to do is know more about their business, who their competition is. Are they in a growth period? Are you in a decline period? Or what is your strategy? Where you want to be the next 1, 3, 5 years? And then it should be our role, okay, because we're all in business to be able to guide them, direct them. And for me, that was my job at AT&T. I just went around to corporate businesses, met with CEOs, and they tell me, hey, Mike, we're downsizing. Okay, how can we do more with less? Okay, let's create infrastructure to allow you to do the same with 25 employees instead of 50, or it could be 500 instead of 1,000. So everybody faces the same crunch. Okay, I mean, everybody gets in there and there's no profit. So I think the biggest thing that for our advantage, and this is really important for HBCU students, because you should know what business you planning to go in when you hit that campus as a freshman. Now, if you hit that campus as a freshman and you have no knowledge of what you're going to do, then you're going to be wandering around trying to find a direction. And if you don't have a mentor, somebody who's willing to mentor you through the process to say, hey, this is what it's going to take. This is what you're going to have to do with your grades. This is what other societies and whatever activities you got to be in, because it's all networking. And, we got to get better at networking as African Americans. Well, first of all, we don't have enough of us in the jobs to pull us through. So they'll take one or two, but we got to catch these young women. Like, I'll tell you, take Shaw U. HBCU Shaw U had 900 freshmen hit the campus this year. 900 freshmen when you have a total of about 1,100 to 1,200 students, right? So that was a total. So now they've increased by 50%. Okay, and they're going to be building their new facilities. They're going to try to get that to 5,000, right? So when you get those new 900 hit that campus, you got to follow them. Somebody's got to talk to them because they don't even know what to do. And going to a campus as a freshman, you get dropped off. I mean, if you don't have a plan and a strategic plan of how you're going to do this, that can become scary. And that's where the students lose. They get in debt. They're going, wait a minute, I don't really need to get in debt if I get a job. I mean, because my daughter, I mean, she's not Superwoman, but she's the general manager at Five Guys. Okay. She's going to Shaw, going to graduate. She's also working with the barbecue company doing catering. Okay. Because we came across the thing. I said, hey, the bank of dad is closed. Okay, the bank of dad is closing, right? So when the bank of dad closes, and I set you up, you got to be self-sufficient. I'm not coming back down here to do nothing else again. So she makes her money, and does what she wants to do. But it's a thing that I'm the type of father that calls my kids every day, though. See, so my kids are like, we never get any free time. They'll tell their friends, we don't get any free time because dad's got his thumb on us all the time. And I make sure I keep my thumb on them because they can make a mistake or anything can happen. And that's crucial. And I think I can't wait to get up to Shaw again and be around, because all I want to do is talk to the kids, talk to the football players. Hey, man, what you plan on doing when you get done?
Yeah.
You going into coaching? What you gonna do, man? You running track? What's your plan? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what groups are you associated with? You gonna get into teaching? Because if we don't have a plan for them and we're just utilizing them to get students so we can get the federal money so all the people can keep the doors open, well, that's not what education was about. Education was about like big house gains, taking people in, being a friend for life. You got my door anytime you want to come on back here. Okay. And that's the way the coaches used to be, and you could go say, hey, man, I got a problem. You could talk to them if you got a girl pregnant, you got this. It doesn't matter what it is. They were mentors and they were in those schools that we were going to that could be a benefit and straighten us out. Because as a young African-American male, man, you got a crisis you facing. And that's deep, man. That's the story.
How many students don't have a like Mike was just saying, be amazed how many seniors don't have a plan.
Yeah.
On graduating day, and you don't even know what you
have no clue. You have no clue what your next step is.
Job set up, no nothing, man. Or literally going home, man. Literally going home.
Good. It's not good.
And it's in thousands and thousands. I believe that college is a buffer for the government. It's a buffer to say, hey,
it's a good side hustle.
It's a buffer. It's a buffer to say, man, that keeps the job like in market, like listen, okay, all these students who graduated high school, okay, we got a little bit of breathing room. 4 years, we got 4 years to figure out how we're going to get these people jobs. Otherwise, we're going to have an unemployment crisis on our hands. We got to give out more food stamps. We got to give out more social services. So, um, yeah, man, it's like you said, Mike.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing is a money game from the
You
government.
just said it. You
The
just said it.
gov-
They're giving out more stagnation.
yeah,
Stagnation. That's when they give whenever they
yeah,
give you the SNAP or they give you the low income housing, that's for stagnation. That's keep you right where you are.
right where
Keep
you
you
are.
right where you
Fall
are.
back,
Yeah,
get comfortable on that, and do that the next
Hmm.
20 years, right? So
yeah,
and we're gonna migrate you all into one area. We ain't gonna put you
exactly.
in different areas. We're gonna
No,
migrate you to all one area.
why
Y'all
should we?
stay right there. Okay, and you go on down there, get your food, get everything you want first of the month, and that's your next 25 years, man.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy, man?
Hmm.
And the people don't even realize it's happening to them
Easy.
right in front
That's
of your face.
Right in front
crazy.
of your face. And that's generation after generation after
What?
generation. All
Yes.
day long. We're gonna keep
Black
all
women
y'all
having
dead.
babies. Yeah, having babies to increase the
Yeah.
income. I saw some other night. I couldn't believe it. I saw an African American woman get on there and tell us, hey, you know what? You know, I have babies with different fathers because I get more money when I do it that way. See, if I have the same 5 children from the same father, I'm gonna get less money. But if I have 5 different children with 5 different fathers, I get more money. Okay,
Oh
you
Mm.
wow,
think about
wow,
that. You
wow,
think
wow.
about that of how that works, child
Mm.
support and everything, right?
No.
So
Now that's called working the system.
That's a hustle.
hustle, man. That's a
That's it. Yo,
hustle.
wait. Yo, I'm a
You
hustler,
know,
baby.
yeah. I mean, just like
I said,
that
what
young
you didn't
lady
know?
got.
It's
Well,
sad though, man.
got an
It's
NBA,
sad though.
young NBA player got a 40-year-old lady pregnant.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
now I was an
Mm.
NBA player, young man too. He's in his 20s, and he somehow was dating a older female. She ended up
uh-huh.
getting pregnant. He didn't get it. He
Right.
thought it was love. Well, now you got the baby. Now I'm set. See, so that's
Mm.
something that it's prevalent. It's prevalent
Okay.
in the
Wow.
world today. Yeah,
Hustler's
yeah.
mentality. Okay. Hey,
Woo.
listen, man. This was a good conversation today, gentlemen. Hey, listen, we want to thank everybody that was chiming in. Listen, if you are in school, you better be like Mike said, you better have a plan. Don't leave school without a plan, please. If you are in school, work on your plan while you're in school. Hopefully, you can start a business while you're in school. And like John was saying earlier, pull your resources together.
Yes, sir.
Or I believe that was who was it that where you get was that Mike? I believe it was uh
Come together.
everybody brings in what you say, Mike?
20,
$2,800
An
a
hour,
month. And
$20 an hour. That's all you
20
need.
hours now.
hey, that is a perfect thing. So each college student, if you can bring in $5 a week or $20 a month, I don't know, put it into a pot, and that's a
Man,
starting
all
point.
y'all buy groceries. You know what I'm
That's a
saying? You get 10,
Mhm.
$20 bills, you got $200. Get you some beans, some rice, cornbread mix, get you some chicken. You know what? I mean, you get a
yeah,
whole lot of things when you go in
that's
there
right.
and somebody know how to cook right
And
now.
then,
But if you,
and for
yeah,
those potential students who may want to strip, listen, we have a book out for you coming pretty soon from J.L. Williams. All
J.L.
right.
Williams, the stripper, man. The
business
stripper,
business on
man. The
business
stripper.
on the yard. Business on the yard.
Hey, we getting it
He's
done, baby.
retired and he's
Hey Mike.
married now, so he strips only for Mrs.
Oh
Williams.
yeah, that's it.
Okay, so let's not get it confused. All
That's
right,
right.
Ah,
that's that.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's a
Hey,
man of God.
that's right. Hey
Yeah,
John,
no
take us
doubt.
out. John, take us out.
Hey, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. This was really nice. We said some great and amazing things, and you heard from some of the greatest personalities in the business. Money Mike, with the Money Mike podcast, and we also heard from Mr. Vince Bungy, the founder of HBCU
Hmm.
Original. We thank God for him and his vision, and so we're really excited. So one of the things I wanted to leave you with was with this. I remember I used to say this years ago on radio. Until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change, you will remain the same.
Mm.
And so I'm hoping that you can decode that and listen to this several times. Maybe Vince will put this in a short that you can listen to, but that's something that you need to ponder. Until the pain of staying the same, until that becomes greater than the pain of change, you will remain the same. And so we're hoping that we see change, significant change in your life. So not only can you change your life, but your life turns around and change somebody else. Listen, we love you. We thank God for you. Listen, work like it depends on you, but pray like it depends on God, because it does. We love you here at HBCU Original. And Vince, we
Peace.
Peace.